Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Voice of Houston right here at Urban Houston Network, UHN-TV. We want to remind you to remember to download the free app and look at us and see what the blacks are doing in the Houston, our TV stations. God, I hope God has blessed you as well as He has blessed us. I am Dr. Clara Brent, your host, and Dr. Baba Mills is your co-host. We want to also keep you in mind that please go vote. And if you don't know where to go and vote, go to onevote2022.com. That's onevote2022.com. Go and vote, you all. If you want changes, we must vote. Please go and vote. And thinking about voting, talking about voting, but I'm just interested in why we going backwards with the Supreme Court Roe versus Wade. That has happened so many years ago that it went through, and now they want to reverse it. It doesn't make any sense for us to be going backwards, and it seems as if they want to follow Trump's good idea, and that was not a good idea to make America great again. We already been great. We've been great a long time. If you want America to be great, it's not to go backwards, it's to go forward. What do you think about that?
Well, unfortunately, America has never really lived up to its founding creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator. So the document itself was almost perfect, but imperfect people penned the document, and imperfect individuals have to live by it. And unfortunately, that's where the problem is. Roe versus Wade should have never been really signed into law, because there should never be a law that seeks to regulate conscience, because God gives us free will conscience, free will choice. You have a choice to sin or not sin, and abortion is a very personal, private, free will choice, and God gives us choice. So it should have never been a law. It should be something that exists solely between a woman, a doctor, and God. They should have never made it a law, and that's what the problem is. You're going around trying to make a law against something that you shouldn't even be bothered with, because it becomes a personal choice issue, and you can't take choice away from people, because God gives us free will choice. And so who are you not to give a person free will choice when God is the source of your being and your life, and He gives you choice? You can either seek to obey Him, serve Him, or not. So God gives you that choice. But now you have to deal with the consequences of it. So it should have never been a law in the first place. They should never even mess with that. They should have left it alone.
So you're saying that if they just had left it alone, leave it alone now?
That's right.
And don't try to change it now, because it has already been changed.
That's right.
And leave it alone, and let's not
let it stay between the doctor and the woman and God.
And God.
Because God is going to be, in the end, the final judge.
Exactly right.
Not you.
None of us going to be
judged. That's the whole problem. Exactly. That we're going around trying to make laws.
We don't even know whether we're going to make it or not with the Lord.
We're fighting. Trying to make laws.
Yeah, it's trying to make laws.
Something that you don't need to make a law against. You don't need to make a law against that.
No.
That's a decision that should be left to the conscience
of a person.
Of the person.
Exactly.
And a professional doctor. Because in the end, God is going to judge the quick and the dead.
Now, since you said quick, a lot of people don't know what the meaning quick means in when it refers to the Bible. Could you explain that to our audience, because of their might be the misunderstanding about quick, because in our language quick means moving fast. What does quick mean in the Bible? If
Well,
you can
it
recall?
means spiritually, whatever you decide, whatever decision you make as an individual, whether it is through deliberate kinds of thought processes or whether it's a quick action on your part, God is going to be the judge of that. He's the judge, not you and I. And unfortunately, that's the problem we're having with the abortion issue. They try to regulate something.
Yeah.
You know, we got the same problem now with human sexuality. Here we are now. We created a law making same-sex marriage some kind of status in society, when that should have never been a law.
That should also be dealt with God too, as well.
Because what you're doing when you say same sex, you're not talking about some kind of spiritual union as it relates to marriage. It's purely about what? Property rights.
Yeah.
And purely about what? And
Money
that's not what
rights.
marriage is about.
Money
Marriage
rights.
is not about property rights. Marriage is about
Love.
love and a spiritual understanding of life together
Through the Creator.
through God. Because God is the source of life in terms of being. And so what we have now is people making marriage about property relationships. That's what same-sex marriage is all about. It's about what? Property, because
Because when you're
sexuality-
married, you have the wife has a right to whatever the
Right,
union
that's
has.
right, that's it.
And when the husband passes first, the wife has that right. If the wife passed first, the husband has that right to that union, what they had gathered together.
And that's the basis upon which they decided the whole issue of same-sex marriage, about property rights. Well,
see
if
that?
you wanted to make,
Leave
you
it
know,
real.
some legal kind of relationship between two men and two women based on property, then all you had to do is give them the civil union right to be together and will their property to one another.
Exactly.
Because that's what it's all about.
Didn't
Because obviously, marriage with God is about what? Love.
Love.
Because that's what's at the center of marriage with God, love,
Love.
not property.
True.
Not money, not property.
And reproduction. Don't ever forget about.
And-
That's what it's
and-
all
and
about
see-
with God. Is reproduction. You told him to go.
And everybody understands what homosexuality is about. Homosexuality is about sexual pleasure.
It's not about reproduction. That's for sure.
No, we know it's not about reproduction because nobody comes through the back door. Everybody comes through the front door.
Y'all heard
ain't
that,
no-
didn't you?
Ain't nobody coming here that I know of. Because if you come through the back door, then we know why we talking what you're talking. Because we understand your origin, where you came from.
I can imagine that. I can imagine that. You do
You
have
never heard
to.
it put that way, huh?
I don't know.
No, but we understand that.
Yeah,
'Cause
no.
everybody that gets, see, God ain't got but one door.
It shows not
And
the
it's the
back.
righteous door.
Yeah, it's the
And
right
everybody
door.
get here through that same door.
Yeah, exactly. And so when you think about how the legislators are making a
Trying
big
to play
thing,
God.
making a big thing over something that is really not that big,
Right.
you just keep what you do. You do
Right.
what God tell you to do, and all the things that He left. Just 10 commandments, you all. Just 10. And it's not that hard to carry
Well,
out those
to
10
be
commandments.
honest with you,
And the
to
first
be-
one, huh?
To be honest with you, Dr. Brent, is really two. You don't even have to deal
With the other,
with
the other
because
eight.
if you love God, which is loving the truth with all your heart, soul, and mind, and love your neighbor
As yourself.
and yourself, because that's what Jesus said.
That's true.
You know,
The
when
second
when
one.
they asked Jesus, you know, they
And he
came.
said, I'll give you another one.
Say,
Let me give you another one.
which are the greatest of the laws? Jesus
Mm-hmm.
say, hey, look here. Love God,
Mm-hmm.
love the truth, love your neighbor as yourself. And if you do that, you ain't gonna have no problem.
None whatsoever, because you don't want to
Because you're
mistreat
gonna
yourself.
obey then all the rest of them. Because all the rest of them gonna hang on those two.
Yes, and you do not wish to, hurt your own self. So if you don't want to hurt your own self, why hurt others? If we ever would start thinking in that order, then we wouldn't have all these crazy laws. We wouldn't have to be going through all this rigmarole that we are going through that should not be happening in the first place. We should be trying to see what we can do to take care of one another, how we can keep this country going, and how well we can keep this country going, not how bad we can keep it going, and know about this racial situation that we are in needs to be abandoned completely.
Well, the problem, really even now with quote unquote the so-called issue of inflation as it relates to the economy, and you got all these people running around talking about Biden is doing this and Biden.
We're just lying on the
we live in a capitalist society, and in a capitalist society, you are dealing with the issue of private property and property rights. The government does not own businesses. So Biden doesn't have any control as the president of the United States over what the price of
what the
oil
business charges and everything else. That's
and
true.
what the price of gasoline is at the pump.
True.
Now, you can ride around in Houston and you see that the price is $3.89,
$3.99,
and all $3.99. All of these companies, whether it's Exxon, Shell, or whoever, they getting together and everybody know they price fixing.
Sure they are, because every station,
on
every other block.
So it ain't got nothing to do with the government
Exactly
and the
right.
power of the presidency. But these dumb folk out here, primarily these Republicans, running around
Want you to
talking
believe.
about Biden is, creating
malarkey.
this inflation, and he's responsible.
Malarkey. Bunch of malarkey, you all. Believe that.
He doesn't have any control over Exxon, over Shell,
None.
over Mobil, over any of these companies that
are doing
produce
this.
oil. The only thing the United States has done is it has certain oil reserves that it has what?
Put aside, exactly, for
itself,
emergencies.
For emergency in terms of the
war,
government,
yes.
and the potential for war and all of that kind of stuff and so forth. Now, what the government probably needs to do, since we see what the deal is, the government needs to have some refinery companies.
Of its own.
Yeah, the United States government
need to put refineries up.
Yeah, put up some refineries.
And hire some people.
And now you got some competition between private businesses and the government,
Yes.
which is there to protect the interests
of
of
the
the whole.
people. Of the people.
Everybody,
For the people and by
not
the
just
people.
the interests
Of the companies. Yes.
private companies and so forth.
Exactly.
Because Exxon and Shell and all these people, they making plenty money.
Plenty money just flowing down the hallways.
Yeah.
But can I just say this to you all, that if we start staying at home, now I've noticed that every time a holiday comes, gas prices goes up, at least about 10 cents. Every time a holiday comes up, we know that the holiday is coming. Stay at home. Stay at home, play in the yard, go to the nearest park there is, and let the children have a good time.
Get your bicycle.
Yeah, get on the bicycle, get on the motorcycle, and ride around in the community or wherever you are in the city of Houston. Of course, you could use a whole bunch of gas right here in the city of Houston. However, what I'm saying is, let's not go out of town. Let's not go visit. Let's not go to the beaches and all these other things that they think that you're going to do. Let's fool them. Let's stay at home. Don't go anywhere. Don't start buying their gas neither, unless it's a necessity to buy it. That's to go to work and back home. And that's it. We got to start helping them to decide on how they are going to set their goals. Yeah, reset their goals for the economy. And if they are all individually want to make more money, then they'll make more money by having competition. There is no competition in this country anymore. It's just they set up whatever prices they decide. It's like they have a club. Okay, you all, this is what we're going to do. We're going to put up the prices 10 cents because this is going to happen. This is going to happen. We're going to go again on 10 more cents. And before you know it, it's all, you can't afford to do anything. You can't afford to eat. You won't be able to afford to buy clothes because you have to get backwards and forth to work. There is no setup that everyone can get to their jobs without a hassle.
Well, it's all about corporate greed. That's all it is.
That's it. And that's individually. Greed. That's an individual person or persons that's doing this because they are greedy, and they have no feelings or heartfelt feelings.
All you have to do is look at
for the people of this country. They just want, and the more they want, the more they try to get.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you're never
gonna die and leave it behind.
Yes, you can't carry it with you.
No, your relatives not gonna like
the Egyptians really proved that when they tried to carry it with them. They left it here for people to steal and find for the later years down the thousands of years.
Right.
The body is still there, the gold is still there, but the spirit is gone. And what you're gonna do? What you're gonna do?
Yeah.
And remember that you can't carry this stuff with you. And
I keep telling you, Dr. Brent, your relatives are not going to allow you to take anything with you. Even if you put it in a wheel.
They're going to be fighting over it anyway.
I never will forget my little youngest daughter told me, she said, Daddy, she's about 12 years old. She said, Daddy, you may as well put me a name. Put my little name on your stuff right now, because we're not going to bury you.
Did she say?
Yeah. And you know what now? You know, the Bible tell you out of the mouth of babes comes the wisdom of life, the issues of life. So I said to myself, now, you know, that little 12-year-old girl got a whole lot of sense about herself. Go. And I told her, I said, well, look here. And I went on to the bank. And put her name on everything and came back and showed her. I said, nah, it ain't yours yet. You got to wait until I die.
So she said, Daddy, give me some money. He said, you got to wait till I die. Yeah, that's pretty smart, though. It's smart of her to even say such a thing.
Look here, you may as well put my name on
the folks right now, and then we'll be through with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I won't have to go through the courts and all that other stuff, pay the lawyers.
I ain't got to go through no changes in the system.
That's right. Exactly right.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, the little old girl got a whole lot of goddamn sense.
Real nice common sense.
Yeah.
Our president came on, Biden. He came on and was talking about how he was feeling so sad over the fact that the United States had 1 million people to die with COVID.
Oh yeah.
And
it is sad.
And that's really sad.
Because it could have been prevented.
Yeah, all of that could have been prevented. And all they had to have done was to go and get the little shot, which didn't hurt that bad. Or go and get their booster, and then they got some pills that you can take now and all kinds of things. They don't even have to be
take you plenty of vitamin C and vitamin D and vitamin
don't forget.
zinc.
Oh yeah, y'all don't forget about getting you some garlic.
Yeah.
It came to me the other day. I said I remember my mother always using garlic. She didn't care too much about onions, but she liked garlic. And I said, Mama, why do you put garlic in everything? And she says, well, the garlic is the thing that helps you to keep your body strong. Yeah. And sometimes she would even just take a little deal of garlic and just swallow it, drink it down like she did a pill. And so I'm just trying to pass this on to you. She lived pretty well. And if you want to live a good life,
And if your body can't handle, the smell
Of garlic.
Get odorless garlic.
yeah, they have it
The
now.
odorless
It's
garlic.
got an odorless garlic, and also you can get the onion and sprinkle it in your tea and your coffee in the morning, and it's not gonna hurt you. Might be a different type of taste, but it won't kill you. That's for sure. It will help you.
And really, to be honest with you, the medical profession is saying that the virus that's out here now, the replication that is taking place, is going to be very, very dangerous and very deadly.
Yes.
So those of you who have not gotten your shots, get your shots.
Please do.
Because it's one thing we do know. Over 1 million people in America have died because they did not get the shot. But not very many people have died because they got the shot. In fact, I don't know anyone that died because they got the shot. But I know a lot of people that I go to church with, and a lot of
Family
people I
members.
work with,
Yes.
who, thank God, I haven't had any family members, because most of my family members, they had common sense enough to go get the shot.
Praise the Lord for that.
They are still here.
Yes.
But the thing that we do know is this, that the shots are safe, and they will help you
And stop being so
maintain
superstitious.
your health
We're too
and
superstitious.
keep you alive. And so, like Dr. Brent said, I got, as soon as they said I could get the shot, I went and got the shot.
Me
Now,
too.
I know one friend, God bless him, he's a real great guy. I worked with him over at Texas Southern University. And he was going out to the dog track.
Go and have a little peace of mind.
Yeah.
I
going
call it
out
a piece
there
of mind.
Watching dogs race and betting on it and all of that.
Yeah.
And he caught it out there.
Somewhere.
And he caught
In
it.
between.
That's where he caught it. He caught it out there at the dog track.
Oh, man.
And in 7 days,
7 days.
he was gone.
That was pretty fast.
And I know people in my church, that they wouldn't get the shot. They caught it.
Well, it was a lot of people. You know how black people have been taking care of themselves for so many years, and in terms of medical, not trusting doctors, not trusting the hospitals, and we have a lot of reasons for doing that. But when it comes down to something that will protect you, you should at least think about it. Y'all, you need to think about it and not go by hearsay, because a lot of people are going by hearsay. And hearsay will cause you to lose your life, because that's a part of superstition.
And really, to be
yeah.
honest with you, those of you who are listening and viewing the show, take vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc.
Try to get the real vitamin C.
Because
That's lemons and oranges.
You build
Lemon
up
juice.
your immune system.
Amen.
And that will help you fight off, any kind of adverse.
But it has to be done daily.
Yeah.
It can't be done once a week. It has to be done daily. You
take
have to
those
do that
I
daily.
take those 3 vitamins every day.
Yeah.
God let me wake up in the morning.
And you had a good report tell me that when you went to your doctor for your yearly exam,
look
God,
here, I understand.
God made you look like a young man.
I understand you don't live to eat, you eat to live.
All right.
So I'm very, very conscious of what I eat. I try to stay away from crazy foods, a lot of fried foods and all that kind of, I leave that stuff. And McDonald's and Burger King,
Leave them alone.
leave them alone.
Yeah.
God bless them.
And I suggest that you stop giving your children so much food.
Fast food.
Excuse me. That you fast food and all that. Start giving them the things that they need to have, like fresh fruit
And vegetables.
and vegetables. And
make sure they
especially
take,
lettuce, if they don't like
vitamins
them.
for children.
Yes, let's eat healthy. That's how we survived over these years. We ate healthy.
Yeah, your mother cooked.
Excuse
your
me.
grandparents.
But
cooked.
we want to keep that in mind, especially keep ourselves healthy. Go and do what you need to do to stay healthy. And remember, God loves you. We do too. And be sure to keep your paper in your car. Bye-bye.
You had almost time.